Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Sunday, March 27th. There's good news on EIDL funding. We heard from the SBA on Friday on a few different things, including how much money is left in the pot. It's higher than we expected, how much they're approving per day, and what types of EIDL loans and increases they are approving. It's overall good news. I'm going to get into the details. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great weekend. Be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new, consider subscribing, turning on alerts. We have a ton of new videos coming out this week, including information on new funding, new grants, and more information on our 1 million views campaign. This is huge. It's our biggest thing we've done to date. Probably has around $100,000 value. We will feature one of you watching for an entire month on our YouTube channel. We'll plug your website and your business. We want to raise awareness to your business. You'll be seen by 1 million people. We're doing it for free to support small businesses. helloskip.com/million. I know a lot of you have already entered there. Okay, let me talk about the funding news here. We heard Friday that there's $22 billion left in the pot of money, and the SBA is approving about $900 million per day. Okay, that's better. It means there's a few more days left, and they're approving less per day. The average a few weeks ago was 1 billion per day. It's down to 900 million. So we're gonna bump up this number here from 18.7 billion. It will probably be around 20 billion once we update it. We know there's tens of thousands of people still waiting. We know many of you on this channel care about this. Some of you have been following EIDL news and our channel for 2 years now. In fact, it's been exactly 2 years since one of the very first EIDL videos that I did. This is from March 25th, 2020. 36,000 views. Quick guide to the SBA disaster loan application. If you remember this form, it's probably very few of you. I'd love to hear in the comments. Before they updated the form on March 29th, 2020, that they released the EIDL grants and the COVID EIDL loans for the very first time. So for everyone who's been following along for 2 years, we hope you've had some positivity come out of this. So let me break down a couple things here. Here's what we heard: 22 billion in EIDL funding, and we heard they're spending about 900 million per day. And the other big one is majority of loans being approved now are under $500,000. Now, the main reason for this, we heard, is that there aren't many loans left relatively over 500K. You know, last week I talked to dozens and dozens of small business owners still trying to get more EIDL funding. I'd say about half were going for loan amounts under 500K and half for loan amounts over 500K. But overall, according to the SBA, the majority of loans still in the queue are going for amounts less than 500K. Here's why this is important. Well, we also heard there's 15.5 thousand loans in this bucket. This is the bucket of under $500,000. So if you are looking for an EIDL increase up to $500,000 and still waiting, you are one of 15,500 others. We don't know how many are in the queue above 500,000, but we heard that it's less than this amount. So maybe 5,000, 10,000, who knows? It's a small number overall compared to the backlogs we saw last year. So here's the good news number one. Let's say the average increase for loans less than 500K is $100,000. 100,000 times 15.5 thousand in the backlog is less than $2 billion. So that means just taking everyone who's waiting for loans up to $500,000, you should be able to get funded based on what's left in the backlog. Now, it's unclear if this 15,000 backlog includes folks that are still waiting, or you may be out there trying to get a second or third or fourth or 10th reconsideration. Unclear if you're counted in that bucket. Speaking of, if you want help, finally, I cannot emphasize it enough, book a time to talk with our team. I'm going to show you why in a minute. helloskip.com/join. We have a few spots left this week. Try risk-free to talk to someone on our team who can help you not only get EIDL funding, but other SBA funding, other grants and loans, and ways to help you grow your business. So very important. I'll give you a few facts and figures there in a minute. The second piece of good news, let's assume that there's 10,000 folks out there still waiting for EIDL increases above 500,000. Many of you want that full 2 million, or you're going for 1 million, 1.5 million, somewhere in between. Well, let's assume the total increase you're going for is 500,000. You can see the math right here. 500K times 10K, that's the assumption how many are left. We don't know for sure. That's only $5 billion. Even if you assumed that everyone would get the maximum amount of 1.5 million increase up from the 500K, that would only be $15 billion. 15 billion plus 2 billion is only 17 billion. So based on some of these numbers that we've heard, we can assume everyone who's eligible for an increase should be able to get funding. I hope that's good news, because I know many of you, when you've seen this countdown, we're going to bump up the numbers here in a minute. When you see this, you start to panic a little bit, especially if you're waiting. Okay, here's why you should go to helloskip.com/join and choose the premium or VIP option. Book a time to talk with us. We've helped over 10,000 businesses collectively get over $1 billion with an average funding amount of $250,000 per business. Besides business funding, we're helping with business growth and business formation. And actually, we spent some time updating the numbers. It's now over 12,000 businesses, 1.2 billion in total funding, and an average funding amount of $260,000 per business. helloskip.com/join. Even if you don't need one-on-one help, you can try Skip Plus, so you'll get early access to grant information and other funding information. Go there, or better yet, use the link in the description. And for all of you who've been watching us since March 25th, 2020, shout out to all of you. Most importantly, thanks for supporting this video, liking and subscribing. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.